Bake a hoe cake every hour. Keep that skillet good and greasy all the time, time, time. Keep that skillet good and greasy all the time.
Well, hello everybody. We're back in the kitchen. Uwe is back and everything's fine again. So which number of food notes is this?
26, 27, something like that.
What is it, 26 or 27? What do you think?
I don't know, 26 I think.
26, okay.
Today we have something really simple. It was a request that was made from a friend in Switzerland who said, "Why don't you make a Kässchnitte?" You know, of course, this is one of the simplest foods that we have in Switzerland. It's something that, yes, of course, we eat this stuff. Kässchnitte is like our version of grilled cheese.
Yes.
And so it's going to be a very simple, very quick recipe. I hope you enjoy this.
All right, for our what grilled cheese, right? Actually, basically, we need bread, and this is the bread that we always make here at home. And we showed in episode 11 how to make this bread. But of course, you can take any other bread, but it would be nice if it has a crust of some kind. You know, so there's all kinds of breads that you can buy that have a little bit of a crust, and that would help.
Mm-hmm. Then we need a little bit of butter. Mm-hmm. We need some cheese. We got about a 3/4 pound of Gruyere here, which we like, but we could use Swiss.
Yeah.
You can use mozzarella if you don't like it too strong. All sorts of cheeses that they should not be too dry. A nice and fatty kind of cheese.
Too bland, yes.
Yeah, because, and then we have some pickles and tomatoes for garnish, a little pepper, paprika. We need some white wine, that's important. And that's pretty much it.
That's it.
We have the...
Oh, I forgot something.
A little bit of parsley. Parsley, yes.
Yeah,
parsley.
get that.
Yeah, exactly. Just for garnish. Mm-hmm. It's a wonderful June day here in North Carolina. And next weekend will be Doc Watson Day up in Jones' house in Boone. And we used to play up there and hopefully again next year. And we got to play some Doc Watson tunes today.
Yes, I think it's a great idea. I love the mountain style of banjo playing, the clawhammer style. And I have a few old-time banjos, but this is my favorite. This is a Vega number 2, and Greg Deering gave me this many years ago, and I have it in my living room, and I just love the sound of this banjo. And
I love this thing.
yes, and there's a little Clarence Ashley, came up. I think it was little. So you want a little cook?
Let's try to cook.
Okay, yeah.
Gonna build me a log cabin on a mountain so high that I can see Willie as she goes riding on by. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird, and she hollows as she flies, but she never hollows cuckoo till the 4th day of July. I had gambled over in England, and I played cards down in Spain, and I bet bottom dollar I'll beat you next game. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird, and she hollows as she flies, but she never hollows cuckoo till the 4th day of July. been a puzzle ever since those days time began. It's a man's love for his woman, and a woman's love for a man. Oh, cuckoo, she's a pretty bird, and she wobbles and she flies, but she never hops cuckoo till the 4th day of July.
I thought you wanted to stop there.
Perfectly all right.
You want to cook some
Yeah, hatchling there.
let's do it.
So what we started with was, even before we started recording the show, was that Jens put the range on at the oven,
Yes.
400.
Yes.
400. So that the thing has to be really nice and hot before we put these.
Can you start cutting? I'm hungry.
So I'm gonna start.
Really? I mean, he's talking so slow. Why is it? Don't cut yourself.
A little bit of.
Don't cut yourself.
Now the thing is that you don't want the slices to be too thin or too thick. You know, you don't want them like that.
No.
You want them more like this, maybe, right? Like this.
Yes, exactly. No.
And then we can put them straight onto a baking sheet.
Well, no, you know what, Uwe? I think, when we put the wine on and everything,
Yes, better on here.
do you think so?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can soak them from the
Oh,
top.
no.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to cut some cheese. What do you think?
Yeah. Like we said before, we can take Gruyere or any other good half semi-fat cheese. Cheddar works great, by the way. But if you want to have a real Swiss experience, you might want to go for Gruyere or Swiss cheese. Of course, you can just buy Swiss cheese. How many of them do you think you should do, Jens? What do you think?
Oh,
4 or 5 of them?
let's make 5 because they also taste very cold.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is.
Oh, they got this one a little bit thick.
Let's see if the cheese is good. It's all
Always
good.
have to check the cheese.
I could leave a cheese and bread. Do you remember Phil Ledbetter? Phil Ledbetter is a phenomenal dobro player. Seriously, we met him when he was still playing with Jada Crow, New South, down Darwin. And we became instant friends because everybody becomes friends with Phil Ledbetter. So we had him over to Switzerland for a big Swiss fair that took place, about 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Is that 20 years ago?
Yeah.
So,
20 years ago.
So we had Michael Cleaver and Phil Ledbetter and a bunch of guys, Daryl Webb, and they all came over and we had this big bluegrass show that we put on for, for Switzerland. But then they stayed with us for, 2 weeks and all together. And they came home. And then later we learned, that Phil Ledbetter told everybody he never eaten that much cheese in his entire life while being in Switzerland.
Now, this meal here is something that we just do anytime we get together with people.
Yes.
Because Swiss people always have cheese and bread in their house. And sometimes when the bread gets a little stale, a little older, this is a perfect recipe to revive old bread as well. And so, I don't know, how many times have we had this?
I don't know.
Out of 1,000 days that you live in
I
Switzerland,
don't
you're
know.
going to have this at least 50 times.
Yes,
No
more.
Yeah.
Me more. But the thing is, this is a food. Last time we were talking about Berlin. Not the last time, but it was a few episodes ago.
The currywurst.
The currywurst, from Berlin. And this is like the currywurst of Switzerland. You can get this in every restaurant. You had a restaurant at home, and I don't know how many of these.
You made thousands of these.
Not thousands. I don't know. Many people would come in. Haschnitte, and then off you go to the kitchen, and it's always the same thing.
Yes.
Yes. It's like a Swiss hamburger without meat. Could you say that? I don't know. It's a vegetarian hamburger.
The process is very simple. You just take a little bit of wine and just drizzle it on. It doesn't take much.
But this
about this much.
that's perfect, Uwe.
You know, I'm just.
Uwe, that was perfect.
So and you take just a little bit of butter and put that on top of the wine.
Yes, I know, it's very difficult. It's a
Yes.
task. Some people say...
you have to have your butter nice and soft.
Yes,
you know?
and the thing, some people say they put down the butter first, but then there's the big argument. How does the wine get into the bread once the butter is on there? Because you seal the bread. Then they say, well, you're taking too much butter.
And
so
now-
there's a huge discussion always about this. You know?
And now what you can do now is to add just pepper on top of this right now before you put the cheese on, so the pepper doesn't burn. Or you put the pepper freshly on top of the cheese once it's melted.
I think that's the best.
Okay, so we do all this.
Why don't we put some cheese on it now?
Yeah, put some cheese on it.
Okay. Cheese on it. That's about it. Not too much.
Okay. Jens put all the cheese on there, so we're already ready to go into the oven. These are going to go into the oven at 400 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes. We just have to check it a little bit so that they don't get overdone or underdone. That's all. It's wonderful. And in the meantime, we can play a little bit of music.
We can.
Yeah, we will.
And yes. Let's there we go. Ooh. Okay.
Yes, you want to play something?
Yes, absolutely. You know, the nice thing about this recipe is that it brings back, you know, like all the good recipes bring back good memories.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I had to pour myself a little bit of this wine, because you know in Switzerland we have these wrestling matches. It's like Swiss wrestling. It's Schwinge, and it's fantastic. I mean, they wear these overpants, and these guys, you know, hold on to these, like, you know, overpants real sturdy, and they try to throw each other into sawdust. And it's a huge event. I mean, there are thousands of people. They have smaller ones, and then they have the national one. It's a big deal. Now
and the guys that do it, the athletes they're always cheesemakers and butchers.
and such, you know, because they're strong like mules, and you know they.
So what do people eat at these events? Is brats, you know, servalas, and
You know, so and then it's a hot day or a beautiful day like that, and you have a little bit of white wine, and you get a Kässchnitte, and then there's some of the Swiss folk music going on, and they, you know, have all these things. Also the cow shows, you know, and the farm shows, you know, that's that memory, you know. Anyway,
and there's a gazillion different recipes for this. You can grate the cheese and make sort of like a fondue mix and put it on there.
Well, Uwe.
And then there's some people that actually deep fry this whole thing. They just dip the bread in there. There's so many different ways of doing it, but what we do here is what I think most people do it that way.
Well, yeah, most restaurants.
Yeah.
But you know what? The man that actually requested it also, you know, was also making a remark on. There's a Swiss Army Kässchnitte.
Exactly.
And this is made a little bit different. They grind the cheese and they put some, you know, flour in it, I believe, even, you know, or some eggs. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Right?
Yeah,
Do they put some things?
It just has to go quick because, you know, when you have 100 people that you have to feed, you have to make at least 200 of those things.
And then they pretty much make a fondue, pre-fondue, and then smear it on the bread and then put it in the oven.
Right.
But you know, most of the time, this is what you get.
That's what we do.
So anyway, let's.
Did you want to do another? This.
You on the 5th fret there. I think I have to hold the banjo a little differently. Yeah, that's a tune called Frosty Morn. It's the Frosty Morn is referred to the day when they executed the Scottish leaders after the Jacobite War.
It will be a cold, frosty morn when the English ruled the land.
But make it over here and it changed, you know, into something else. And there's also a little bit of a crooked rhythm into it. And what we learned from Doc Watson Family album.
Oh, that was a wonderful record, yes.
Yes, it really was.
You know who's gonna like this?
No.
Bale Haiti.
Really?
Yes. You know Bale?
Yes, of course. I remember Beat coming to my lessons.
Yeah.
And I actually had a few people ask me for lessons on Skype.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I'm ready to give some lessons again.
That's right. You have internet now.
I do. I have to ride the bicycle at the same time. I do.
Jens, it's starting to smell good here.
Okay,
Let's check this out.
I enjoyed playing that. That was,
Oh, that's great too.
Yes, absolutely.
While the cheese is melting, you want
My
to
paper
do
is
the.
all dirty. Why is my apron so dirty?
That's from the wine. So how do you want the pickles? You want them cut half?
No. You see, this is your recipe, Uwe.
Yeah.
So you have to decide how you're going to cut the pickle.
Well, I will put it like this. Look, I cut them in the middle, and then I'm going to fan them a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
You're getting fancy schmancy here.
No, we always did that back in the restaurant. Don't you remember? And then all you have to, and then you can lay them flat like
I
this.
know exactly.
And it's just
You're exactly right. This is
Remember?
how we do it. Yes. And with the tomatoes, we just do little wedges, right?
Yep. Put a little pepper and salt on it, or aromat if you still have some.
Aromat. I just ran out of aromat, you know, which is really a shame. And this garnishing is
That's
also
essential.
typical. It's also typical, you know. You get this it's like an obligation. You get this tomato veg, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
You just gotta get it.
I never liked it, but you eat it. Eat it, just eat it. Gotta have to get your vegetables in somewhere. So we have.
Well, you know, when my kids went to school here, middle school, they counted a portion of French fries, right, as vegetables.
Oh, and the ketchup too.
And the ketchup as well. So the ketchup was also This is the little alarm bell. So I thought it was very funny that in school, the ketchup was counted as vegetable.
Well, it is.
Well, it is, but I never thought of it that way. You know, it was something.
All right, here we go. Let's check the cheese.
Good, you know, I mean, some people like them to be browned or something, but I don't. I know this is plenty.
Oh, they look perfect, yes.
Yeah, there are. It's too bad we don't have smell-o-vision now.
No.
Really, because melted Gruyere is really good. I think I made a mess. You know what? Every time you got this camera on, I'm getting nervous. I'm trying to do everything correct, and then I feel like I'm messing up everything. We're not going to do this again, right?
No.
Okay. Okay, we're going to put a little paprika on it. That's it.
And a little pickle, you see, something like that.
It was also funny, you know, where we come from. Paprika is a very serious spice that you use for a lot of serious dishes. Oh, some fresh pepper, right?
Fresh pepper.
And then here I bought some paprika, and it said on it in big letters. It said on it, "Great for adding color to deviled eggs." I had to laugh so hard. It was so funny. It was great. Anyway,
We can put a little bit of.
let me see. Okay, I
Now-
take some of my.
The parsley ends. Where's the parsley?
Oh, the parsley. Put some of this on the tomatoes.
A little bit of salt.
Well, it's a special salt with it.
Yep. This is
It's not just a salt.
It's a
please.
special herb salt.
Jens's Vogel herb salt. Beautiful stuff, by the
Yeah,
way.
this is really
So,
good. So,
and now this is already it. Maybe you want to try this, because I will.
well, you know, the thing is with our food, Uwe said, if you want to try it, you have no choice, Melissa. You have to go through this because you didn't warn us about cheese. You said you didn't like what? Seafood?
I
And
like
you don't like
seafood.
what else you don't like? Lamb.
Yeah, I don't eat lamb.
Okay, what else? Hamster. And
No hamster.
No hamster, no guinea
Yeah,
pig.
No guinea pig.
But you do squirrel.
Sometimes, if I
Right.
don't know the squirrel. Grilled cheese time.
It's an open face.
Open face grilled cheese.
Sorry, okay.
Because the grilled cheese I grew up on, you know, it's like a sandwich and you grill both
I
sides.
know.
This is good. And Mom did not put wine, I don't think, in our grilled cheese.
What else?
Only if she wanted us to go to sleep.
Well, now, the only thing missing is
I'm gonna
yodel.
use my finger. Well, yodel while I eat.
Yeah, that's why we left Switzerland.
You know, the wine really makes that.
Yes, that's the trick,
This is good comfort food. Very good, guys. I like it.
Well, we're lucky, huh?
Yeah.
You lucked up today. Very good.
How do we say?
En gute miteinander.
Tasty.
Well, the best thing, maybe you just grab it.
Yeah, I
like a
think
piece
this
of
is
meat.
kind of like really
I
like
know, I just,
turning me off.
I know, well, it's fine.
Kind of like a pizza.
I'm so glad that we were able to do the cook show again, and you're on your feet again.
At least, yes.
Yes, fine, it's all good, you know. So,
And Gijsje, thank you for the request. That was a wonderful idea.
yes, it
Why
really
didn't
was.
we think about this?
Well,
This is such a standard statement.
Yeah.
Simple, but effective, really.
And it tastes really good.
And quick.
Yes.
And it's not drenched in butter. And it's just a wonderful.
It's wonderful. Actually, I once, talked to my son-in-law, and they make raclette, so they melt a lot of cheese. and take that cheddar, American cheddar, the one that the Cracker Barrel, that kind of cheddar, and it works fantastic for melting cheese. And it would also work really great on this. It really does. Well, thank you all for watching. We always enjoy doing this because it's just a lot of fun, and we know you watch it out there on the interwebs. And I have an interweb one or two.
We'll see you next week, okay?
You all take care. Bye.